Shalom, Israel's brothers of Abba Yalla coming back at you with another quick cold cut. Let's give our honor and glory and praise to Yahweh in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai. It's going to be a cold cut, just going into, having order and knowing how to submit to leadership, knowing how to, submit to your elders and those that have the rule above you. No matter if you, like a certain decision or if you like an order that was given unto you, that's not for you to change or alter. It's for you to respect the leadership and not to revile the gods, as it says in the law. The Most High put brothers or sisters, if you may be in a congregation, if you may be in a camp, or even in your household, just knowing how to submit to order and leadership if it be done in righteousness. Right? It's the book of Hebrews 13-17. Obey them that have the rule over you and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable to you. So men in leadership that the Most High is set up through the grace and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, they have watched for your souls. That job is not easy. When you watching over for a brother's soul, when it's your job to present brothers and sisters glorious, all white, pure to Yahweh and Bahashim Yahushua, that's not an easy task. When you have burdens, you have watch over the church, plus you may have a household, you may have different things going on. We take this job more serious than our regular job. This is work for Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We get paid for this in the spiritual realm. There's a reward coming. So we don't, brothers that's in leadership, we take this seriously. And even leaders have leaders. Yes, even leaders have leaders. I mean, you can read about, the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 28. It's like 2 Samuel, chapter 23, right? We actually go to 2 Samuel, chapter 23 real quick, right, to prove that. This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 23. And I'll start at verse. So it goes into David's mighty men. And David had a top 30. And then within the top 30, you had the top 3. And then within the top 3, you had Joab, who was captain of the host. Right? So you have leaders that have leaders. Right? So when you submit to leadership, submit to order, right? The orders that are passed down. Right? This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 23, verse 8. These be the names of the mighty men whom David had, the Tachomite that sat in the seat, chief among the captains. So you had captains, but you had chief among the captains. The same was Adino the Esnite. He lifted up his spear against 800 whom he slew at one time. And after him, so you had men in order after him. Salaki. And after him was Eleazar the son of Dodo the Ahahite, one of the 3 mighty men with David. When they defied the Philistines that were there gathered together to battle, and the men of Israel were gone array, he arose and smote the Philistines until his hand was weary, and his hand clave unto the sword. And the Lord wrought a great victory that day, and the people returned after him only to spoil. Now, hold on. And after him was Shammah the son of Agi the Harite, and the Philistines were gathered together into a troop, where there was a piece of ground full of lentils, and the people fled from the Philistines. But he stood in the midst of the ground and defended it, and slew the Philistines, and the Lord wrought a great victory. And the 3 of the 30 chief went down and came to David in the harvest time unto the cave of Adullam, and the troop of the Philistines pitched in the valley of Rephaim. So you had leadership amongst leadership. You had order. You had captains. You had judges. You didn't just have everybody on the same page. Not everybody on the same level. Everybody was on one accord, but not everybody was on the same rank or same level. David being the king, and then it kind of trickled down from there. Right? So you had to understand leadership. You have to know how to submit to leadership. You have to know how to be humble in this thing, because the Most High, he's the one that putteth down and raiseth up another. Promotions come from the Lord, actually. Let me get that in Psalm 75. Promotions come from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So if you're not in that position, but it's your job to, kind of submit to leadership, and do that. Be an example on how to receive order, how to be in order. Right? This Psalm 75 and verse 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but Yahweh is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. You see that? The Most High putteth one down and setteth up another. And that's what the Lord does. He can put somebody down. He can set you up above another brother. He can put you under another brother. But it's all for the building of Yahweh in the name of his son Yahweh Shai. Nobody's better than that. The next, we all need each other in this building, but everybody has different roles that was given to them by Yahweh in the name of his son Yahweh Shai. The Lord does this. Let's go to Sirach chapter 3. Sirach chapter 10. This is the book of Sirach chapter 10. And let's start at verse 14. The Lord have cast down the thrones of proud princes and set up the meek in their stead. So when you see brothers get, elevated or exalted, that's through the Lord. When you see brothers that may get put down or abased, that's the Lord. The Lord have plucked up the roots of the proud nations and planted the lowly in their place. The Lord overthrew countries of the heathens and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth. He took some of them away and destroyed them and have made their memorial to cease from the earth. So the Lord, he's the one that he can do this to nations. He can do this to men, right? He can do this to congregations, households. It doesn't matter. The Lord sets up the meek in the proud prince's stead, man. So if you want to be a leader, if you want to, be able to kind of, lead and have different attributes of a leader, you have to know how to follow first. You have to know how to follow first, right? And what do I mean by that? This 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 11. But thou, O man of God, flee these things and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, and meekness. So for you to lead, you have to follow after righteousness. For you to lead, you have to follow after godliness. You have to follow after faith. You have to follow after love. You have to follow after patience. You have to follow after meekness. And then the Lord may see it best to even, elevate you if it be his will. But don't seek preeminence. Don't try to put yourself in that position, even if you know that it's not through the spirit and power of the Lord. All right, let me go to the book of 3 John. This is what I want. This 3 John chapter 1 and verse 9. I wrote unto the church, but Diotrephes, who loveth to have the preeminence among them, receiveth us not. So this man Diotrephes, right? He wasn't receiving the apostles. He wanted preeminence. He wanted things to be done his way. Oh, I'm the leader of the church now. All right, well, yeah, this is my church. This ain't the Lord's church. It's my church. I know the below side set y'all up, back in the day, but this we got something new going on. That was his mindset. Verse 10, wherefore, if I come, I will remember his deeds which he doeth, prating against us with malicious words, right? He was speaking against them, speaking down on them when they wasn't around, speaking behind their back, right? Being effeminate. And not content therewith, neither doeth he himself receive the brethren, and forbiddeth them that would, and cast them out the church. He said, if y'all receive these brethren, if you receive Peter, James, John, if you receive Paul, if you receive the apostles, then you have to get up out my church. We're not receiving these men. We're going to do our own thing. But verse 11, beloved, follow not that which is evil, but that which is good. He that doeth good is of God, but he that doeth evil have not seen God. Demetrius have good report of all men and of the truth itself. Yea, and we also bear record, and you know that a record is true. I had not many things to write, but I would not with ink and with pen write unto thee. But I trust I shall shortly see thee, and we shall speak face to face. Peace be to thee. Our friends salute thee. Greet the friends by name. Yeah, they're going to see that. They, basically saying, look, we're going to see him face to face. We're not going to really say everything up in this letter right now. But this man, Diotrephes, was off. He was forcing the hand. He was forcing himself to be a leader, and it wasn't through the spirit, and you could tell it was preeminence. You got to first know how to follow, and then you can lead. You got to first know how to take order and submission, and the Lord will put you in that position if he see fit. And even if you do get put in the position as a leader, you still got to know how to follow who? After righteousness. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 16. The throne is established by righteousness. And if you don't have righteousness, you're not going to get your throne established. It's Proverbs chapter 16, verse 12. Let's end it off with this. It is an abomination to kings to commit wickedness, for the throne is established by righteousness. If you want leadership, you want to be a king, thrones, dominion, then you have to follow after righteousness. You always got to follow after something. You got to follow after wisdom. You got to follow after Yahweh Shem Yahshua. But with that, I like to give our honor and glory to Yahweh in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai. Know how to take order and know how to submit to leadership, man. Even if you don't want to. Your emotions, and Satan got your emotions wrapped up. But guess what? You got to have integrity at the end of the day. But with that, I like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat. Say shalom.